Hey everybody, I'm streaming. So, let me announce to everyone that I'm streaming. Hold on in a momento. Oh, hold on. I have to let everybody know that I'm streaming. Hey, how's it going, man? You're here early. Well, not early. You're the first one here. I'm just sending out all my messages. I think that's everybody. Oh. Clicking on too many different things. Okay, well, whatever. This is the Waking Cloak. Last time on the Waking Cloak, we worked on combat. I've mostly been doing some other stuff, art, music, etc., etc. But I've also tightened up the combat a little bit. It should be really smooth, really responsive now. It's not working entirely yet. Because you can still do weird move thingies. Attack backwards. You can't attack while standing still, you're always moving when you're attacking. That's something else I want to fix. So, let's go ahead and... hi kitty. Suki's here. Suki, you distracted me. So, actually first let's remove the charge state, because that's first on my checklist. So, image speed and image index are going to be 0. What I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to take all of this and stick it in here. That's already there. Because at this point, the charge state is basically just take the basically just to start the sword attack state. So that's what camera. All's good. Is input buffer open is true. So the only thing left for you to do is wrap combo ID. Combo ID just decides which animation on the sword to use. And I know it's not in here. There's that. And that is all that it does. The only other thing is, I need to actually tell the item to use this state. Let's get rid of the sword charge state. And then here, when we're creating our sword item, we should go to plate. What's this one? Okay, so that should work now. It's just saving me a frame or two. Oop, I'm apparently breaking these. undefined state. Referencing the charge state. Let's go to the sword state. That the state is -4. Halfway through, press the item. We press the item, and then that does not make sense. It's acting like I can't find this state. It's not having trouble finding the state. It's just not switching to it. Just continuing forever and ever and ever. This is what it should be doing right here. State timer is greater than 16, and next item state is not known. State switch to the next item state. So then the question is, it's not. it is greater than 16 because it's 156 here, so it's greater than that. But well, let's see if it's hitting this first. This is a really bad method of debugging. I use strings, like alerts, like JavaScript. Which states? Okay, so let's try that. It does switch the state. Do I have to like just reset the state to new? It's probably what's going on. Trying to see if there's a method that I have that can restart the state. And I don't think so. So state switch, what this does is so it's not a real, it should be a string. Unless it's passing in that is no one. Shouldn't be though. Had to grab some headphones. Any sneak peeks for the music? Yeah, I can give a sneak peek in a second. It's not finished. Huh. It says it's switching. All right, well, let's do a music. There's no music that's done. But I'll show you what I do have. As in, I have instruments. So this is OpenMPT. This is a tracker, and this is C700, which is a it's a VST. Basically, I'm piping my samples through it. That I created a whole bunch of samples. I'm piping it through here, and this kind of gives it the SNES, the Super Nintendo Echo. Hey man, how's it going? So, that's actually super quiet. Let's see if I can turn that up. Hopefully that's not too loud. Hey Lignum, how's it going? So this is pretty cool because it has the echo effect, and you can kind of mess with left-right channels. Which is half of the Super Nintendo sound is sort of this echo reverb sort of thing. They've also got some filters that you can mess with. It's really cool. And so what I've been doing is taking my samples. So I have like, what's a good one? So these BRR files are basically all compressed versions of the compressed samples. So they're super tiny. It's like 7 kilobyte sample. Let's do, I like Astral Flute. It's kind of quiet. Hopefully you can hear it. If you can't hear this, let me know. I don't have any idea what the volume is. That one's really quiet though. Did I get the... I actually like this one, the Tremolanda. It's like super... Hey Brian, how's it going? It's like super janky sounding violin, like tremolo, sort of like playing the violin really quickly. Okay, good. Yeah, the Secret of Mana had a flute. I've still been trying to kind of trying to perfect a flute. So the thing about flutes is I'm having a really hard time looping them, because for some really weird reason, when you loop them at certain points, they just create noise, so like a bunch of static. And I don't know why that is. It's probably some like principle of sound that I don't get. But did I get these guys working? Yeah. So some violas. What I've been trying to do is I have a song that I've already written, and I'm kind of trying to create instruments for that are kind of equivalent to that, because it's an NES song, NES style song. So I'm trying to make instruments that are roughly equivalent, so like bells, flutes, cellos, stuff like that, clarinets, and sort of converting over the instruments, and then I want to see if I can recreate it in sort of a SNES sound. What software am I using for sound? I'm using a whole bunch of different stuff. This is OpenMPT, which is Open Mod Plug Tracker, I think. And it's a tracker, so you can... Well, there's no instrument assigned. Hold on. Let's use this one. And there's no volume assigned, so... There we go. It's like super quiet to me, so but basically, you put in notes, you put in the instrument, you put in the volume, you put in different effects, like you can do vibrato or panning or whatever you feel like, and it plays from top to bottom, and then you have patterns, and you can repeat patterns. It's really cool. So Open Mod Plug Tracker is what I'm using, and then C700 VST is a VST which is like sort of an instrument-ish plugin sort of dealio, and what this does is it kind of holds the wave files, the samples that I created, and basically gives it sort of the digital grain that the SNES had, so like echo, sort of that weird foggy sound, and then for creating the samples I'm using Audacity, which is free. All of this is free, and all my samples are like less than half a second, because most of the Super Nintendo samples were at about, I would say probably about 200 milliseconds, so about 0.2 seconds, sometimes less. And then you mix it down to anywhere below 3200 kilohertz, make sure it's mono, and then I think that's it. And then you have to loop it. It's it's quite a process, and it's fun. It's taking a while. I'm writing up this whole big deal on how to do it because I love that stuff. Okay, so it's calling state switch properly. I might need to push it over here because it. Let's try that. Zero knowledge and making music, it seems so difficult. It depends on what you mean by zero knowledge. Like if you can put down notes and make them sound good. I'm writing it so that, like, if you know like the very basics of there's a beat and a melody and some other stuff, then you should be able to do this. Make the music within the Game Boy's capabilities instead of Super Nintendo. Not saying that's a bad thing. Yeah, that's actually been a consideration, and I have a program called Deflamask that can actually emulate the Game Boy. And the thing about the Game Boy and the NES is that they actually have very similar sound engines. And so I've been going with NES because there's better tools to do NES stuff, NES music. That's the only reason I'm doing NES instead of Game Boy. The Super Nintendo stuff is an experiment because I really, really, really like the soundtracks of the Super Nintendo, and I like the sound that it gives. So it's an experiment, and if it works out, then I'm going to do the music for the Waking Cloak in Super Nintendo music, but I'm also considering kind of fusing the two, so I have sort of maybe a Super Nintendo pad running in the background, so like maybe some cellos or violins like kind of low doing chords, and then having the melody be a chiptune sort of thing, maybe with some Super Nintendo reverb slapped on there. So my plan is to kind of try to do a fusion of the two, but we'll see what happens. At the moment, it's just an experiment. Worst comes to worst, I'll end up having a really cool method to make Super Nintendo music, and I can make some music and slap it on Bandcamp and get like $1 or something. So it is going into here. It's switching the state properly, right? I forgot that true is the default value for that argument. What is state next doing? If state next does not equal state, okay, that's what that is. If state next does not equal state, state equals state next. Otherwise, you just keep increasing the state timer. Okay. Gotcha. So probably what I want to do in the sword state is, instead of doing a state switch, I can say state new equals true. And I think that will reset the timer. Yep. It will keep the same state. Oh yeah, sorry, music. Let me turn that back down though. How much percent of the game do you think you've completed? Probably about like 5%. The reason being I'm doing a lot of engine work, not engine work, but like the foundational stuff. So getting combat to work, getting the equipment to work, getting the inventory screens and such to work, and it's kind of loud for me. So yeah, getting the getting kind of the basics working, and then once I get the basics working, it'll be just content, and dang it. Oh. That was stupid of me. That was kind of a really disjointed answer, but hopefully that answered your question. I can't double attack now. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo all this crap. Do that. But keep that. And then in the... undo this. Player object, undo this. And in the sword charge state, this one, I'll undo it. Oh crap. What's the name of the item sort L1? So this will basically just be a container to swap back and forth. A little weird, but it's worked before. There we go. All right, back to normal. Cool. Let's check that off, because I'm not actually going to remove it. So let's get the enemy working again. I don't actually know what happened to him. So in my room... Hello. Oh. Game Maker never crashes anymore. I don't know what's going on. Look, it's animation. Sorry about that. I'm not a fan that it didn't keep my window size. Here we go. Okay, hopefully we didn't lose anything. Okay, sweet. So in the room, up here, we've got this guy, but he's not there. And I don't know why. Is he like just killing himself? So, should be. Oops, hold up. I don't want to do that. Enemy base object is where I want to go. I don't know if he's like moving back to where I originally had him. Am I going to make the Trello board public or accessible to Patreon supporters in the future, or does it contain spoilers? The Trello board is public now. Oops. I think that should do it for you. Oops, that won't do it for you. That will just bring up the checkbox, I think. Hold up. Trello. I mean, that might work. Okay, here you go. The Trello link is there. It's available for whoever wants to look at it. Both links technically work. Basically, this is one card, and it's the combat card, and it's just kind of the checklist of stuff that I'm working on. I specifically took spoilers out on purpose so that people could see that. Alright, so the enemy, what I'm not sure what he's doing, so maybe he's moving. It may also be that he's not drawing himself properly. Hopefully he's not in the pause state. Let's try that though. Comment out the movement contact tiles. I'm worried that he's jumping off somewhere into the blue. Nope, that's not it. This might be it though, the X and Y clamp. What that does is it'll clamp in between two values, and I think the limit, there he is. Oh gosh. First, that's a lot of screen shake. Second, unable to find any instance for object undefined. Well, duh. So the way that I'm doing sword collisions is the worst. So we're gonna need to fix that. We will need to put this back at some point because they'll need to stay within a certain area wherever you put them. In other words, we don't want to knock the enemy out of the room. So the limits are not being generated properly. I guess it's not finding the correct region object. Oh hey, this code is old. So that's probably why it's broken. Okay, so first things first. Let's stop that from crashing. So the damage state. Okay. There's like 200 different things we need to do here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to create an object, and I'm going to call it an actor object. I mean, what this is going to be basically a parent of anything that, pretty much anything in the game. It's going to be the ultimate daddy to all of them. So let me pull up some of my code here. So this is all from, I had an interesting conversation with Pixelated Pope, who's a cool game maker dude. Just see real quick what this is. So what we're going to be doing is basically this is his thing where he has this method called weapon get new hits, and this is triggered in the sword damage state, and so it'll go through all of the objects that have the actor as the parent, and basically check if there's a collision. So it's a little more complicated than that, but that's how we do stuff. And this is actually a lot better method of programming stuff. Open up this paste bin. I'm trying to see because I think he sent me the actual actor code. Right, so in the, that's really small, and yet really big. Stop that. So in the actor parent step, if it's paused, this is actually to, how to put it, this is basically like if you hit it, you can pause it, and that creates sort of a hit stun effect. So that's if it's not paused, it'll step through whatever state it's in. Otherwise it will pause. Let's pull that up over here. And then the move actor script is over there. Okay. So let's actually rename this actor parent object. That way we are consistent. Stick them up here at the top. So that's not going to have a collision mask. It's going to be visible. Basically, whatever sprite it is, it's going to have. So let's create a state or a step. So if paused equals. Not is. Let's do this. If paused, I don't want to do this. Let's just do it this for now. Pause is 0. So if it's not paused, what he's doing here is he's storing the previous image speed so that after the pause is done, then it will go back to the image speed it was before. Hey Jason, how's it going? Wanted to catch you live for so long. Want to tell you the only game dev vlog I follow and look forward to every post. Can't wait for the game. Looks cool. Thanks, man. I always love it when people show up. That's really cool. Thanks. So we don't have any AI scripts yet, so this I'm probably going to have to comment this out. Thanks, guys. It's very encouraging when people come in and say they're excited. So, if paused... Well, I know you're hyped to play this, because you made a really cool art thing. My cat is doing something? Momo. I don't know what she's doing. Momo has issues with sanity. So here's where we're setting the previous image speed. And then pausing, basically hit stunning the whatever character this is. Oh, I'm not going to be moving shadow. There's no shadow. I do want to add an item to here. Yeah, I obviously didn't notice either. Momo, what are you doing? Oh well. That's my wife's desk, so hopefully she just doesn't break anything. So what am I doing? I am hit, stun. What's it actually called? I have a script for it, but it does like the whole thing. Oh, it's called sleep. This website is not meant to be used at this small of resolution. Or this zoomed in. You hit stun, sleep working. So, oops. I always do that. Here we go. Hit stun, sleep working. Did I base the cat sprite off of Momo? I did not. It's a good catch. This is the cat sprite for anybody who's wondering. I actually based it off of another cat that we had. His name is Pabu, and we had to put him down because he was very, very sick. He was another ragdoll cat. They're Momo and Pabu are both ragdolls, and they all kind of look like this. But he had some more brown on him. So, Pabu, I miss Pabu. He was the best cat. Let's put this up here somewhere. Alright, so there's the actor parent step thing. So we have a couple scripts here that don't exist. Thought that I put one in here. Alright, actor read controls. Yeah, I am too. I guess today we're doing gamepad programming. This is probably going to be a new thing I have to do too. Just break everything with scripts that don't exist. This is actually pretty clever. What I think he's doing here is he did like basically an enum, but it's not really an enum because he didn't put the enum thing before it. So like button dot pressed, which is normally how you get an enum to work. So that's pretty cool. Will there be currency in the game? Yes, there will be currency. It's called gems. You can see them in the some of the mock-ups in the so like, whoa, calm down. So these guys, yeah, it's not rupees, but pretty much rupees. Are freaking out. Do you think there will be more weapons for Taft to use, like the Big Goron Sword in Oracle of Seasons? Most of the items will be... you can kind of use them, most of them in combat, is the idea. But, will there be... the idea currently is that you can... level up the sword. I don't know if I'm actually going to do that, but it's kind of the current paradigm, is you have one sword and you can just level it up, kind of like Link to the Past, or Link's Awakening, or any of the Game Boy Zeldas. Okay, up, down, left, right. I think that's going to be the D-pads. I think. We'll find out. I guess the short answer for Big Goron Sword, probably not. Oh, man. Ooh. We'll not do the controls for the item usage for now. For the sword upgrading is great too. I love it when I can make my character stronger by obtaining upgrading gear in games. Yeah, I do too. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I think one of the biggest things that we're going to do, or that I'm going to do, is I think most, probably 80-90% of the upgrades are going to be sort of side quests, missions, things. So there's a couple secret dungeons. There will be side quests, obviously. There will be a item trading sequence, so on and so forth. So there'll be a whole bunch of different ways to upgrade items. The idea is you get the item in the dungeon, and then you can upgrade it outside. There's a couple items that you can get. There might be one or two you can get outside, but that's the current plan. Subject to change. This music is very tense. Okay. Okay, so, what I'm probably going to do is look at my current item checks, check inputs. It's not quite as fancy. So what I'm probably going to do, more amalgam. Well, it might be early morning for you. For me, it is 12:30 p.m. So I just finished lunch. I'm actually gonna have to go back to work in about 15 minutes, back to normal work. So this is going to be the time I can actually stream most often, because my evenings aren't always open. I'm actually going to go ahead and comment that out because we're not doing any of that currently. We don't have an AI script. We don't have... The enemy's not using controls yet. Is this my job? This is not my job. I work as a website designer. That's not true. I work as a software developer, which includes designing websites, programming websites, programming backends for websites, programming intranets, etc., for a financial company. So that's my day job. If I could do game development all day, I would be so happy, but that is not exactly a option at the moment. Because I have a family, I need to support the family, I have a house, I have stuff to pay for, so game developers don't usually earn that much money. So that's the actor parent. We can now pause him. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the pause state off of here, because what we want to be able to do is actually pause from any state. So we don't want a specific pause state like that. And I think the parent is going to be the flash parent object, and we don't want this either. No, actually that's fine, but we do state machine object. I have so many parents. So get rid of that. Okay, pause. Pretty much what you do. Yay, more software developers. Okay, so that was a whole big mess, basically just to say, have you considered making the items mappable to more than 2 buttons? One button will have them to sort 90% of the time, so that leaves one slot for other items. It's a little tedious to switch often. So currently, I've limited it to 2 items, which is kind of the same, but what I've also done is I've made it so you can swap items quickly. So like in some first-person shooters, you can press a button and it'll go to the next weapon in your inventory. Well, this is the same thing. So you could have J and K be your item 1 and item 2 buttons, and then U and I right above it could swap the items to a hot swap real quick. So I think it makes it less tedious. We'll find out in playtesting, and we'll find out once I start implementing more of the items. It's pretty quick. It's a lot quicker than where in Zelda you had to open up the inventory, find your item, click on it, and watch it go down, and then close the inventory, and then you had your item. And then if you wanted to swap back, you open the inventory back up, and so on. So I'm trying to eliminate that. It's a little bit, it's actually a little bit more like the Dark Souls inventory, where you can have a certain row of items that you can use, and then you can flip through those with a certain button. Oh, hold on. Alright. Just rearranging myself. Okay, so state switch damage is still fine, I think. Actually, hold up. Might not be fine. Okay, so the other script we need to make is called weapon hit new hits. So here what we have is weapon get new hits, weapon ID, current list, team. Well, we'll put this in here just for now because he has it. Actually don't know what all of his arguments are for this. That's okay. Hopefully that's not completely messed up. So we don't really have a team in this game. Yeah. So we're going to create a DS list of hits. Yeah, this is a bunch of stuff that I'm just going to comment out because I don't use it. Why don't you like that? Okay. Okay. Lots of programming. So, basically what we're doing here, I think I need to create this script as well. What we're doing here is we're saying with any object that has the actor as a parent or with an actor-parent object itself, which there shouldn't ever be any instance of the actor-parent object, but that's okay. If team, which I don't think we're going to have teams, but if team is not equal to the current team, go ahead and continue with the hit calculations. If they're not invincible, go ahead and continue with the hit calculations. If the the hit does not exist on the list, then go ahead and check to see if they get hit at a certain place, X and Y, and then add it to the list of hits. I don't know what this is, what list is. Oh, argument 1. Yes. So the only thing is what DS list value exists is, and that's probably just a boolean to make sure that value exists in the list. Have I finished any cool Game Maker games before starting the Waking Cloak? I have not. However, I have something that I need to show you. And I showed this before. I'm probably not going to actually stream it, but I'll link it, and you need to go watch it because it's hilarious. I made a Game Maker game when I was probably 13 or 14 years old, maybe younger, and it's really funny because it's not good. If I can find it real quick. Here we go. Here's the video. We are not going to actually watch it right now. Thank you. Okay, so please go ahead and watch that and laugh. Or not, it's your prerogative. So, invincibility is just going to be... he was doing some stuff with invincibility with his game, where you basically have team members, and if you hit... and then if you hit somebody like with a normal hit, and then your teammate wants to like charge up and hit with an extremely superpowered hit, but they accidentally hit with a superpowered hit while the person or the enemy is invincible from the previous hit, then it's really annoying because you wasted a charge. So basically what he was doing is just saying, okay, so some attacks can still go through normal invincibility. We probably don't need that. I'll probably get rid of it. But we need the rest of it. What is my favorite game? Oh my gosh. It's a good question. It kind of depends, but Riven, the sequel to Myst, Riven, is probably, at least in terms of atmosphere and sort of having the puzzles integrated with the environment, and art direction, etc. Riven is probably my favorite. Yeah, I've played it since, and it's kind of a little hard to navigate because it's a point and click, like Myst. But I just love the art, and I loved the lore and the world, and so cool. But I also really like Dragon Warrior Monsters 2. I love most Zelda games. Mass Effect. Dragon Age. Yeah, I like a lot of games. Dragon Quest VIII is another one of my favorite games of all time. Dragon Quest VIII, Final Fantasy VI. Yeah. A lot of games I like. So what we're probably going to do is just comment this out. Comment. Nope. Comment out the team stuff. We don't need that. Have I ever played Terraria? I have played it. I didn't really get into it because I'd kind of been a little burnt out on Minecraft, and it's kind of similar. Not the same, but similar. And I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. Partly probably because I didn't have anybody to play with, and I like, when I play with people, I like playing with like my friends and stuff, people that I know in real life, but yeah, just a hassle. I like the idea of it though. So we've got this mostly working. We just need to check if we need to create this script. This is basically does DS list value exists. Oops. I wish you could alt tab back to scripts you were just in. Oh wait, is that an existing? Okay, it's not. Also, why don't you like this? Unexpected syntax error. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Game is looking very good, thank you. Gives me a Zelda-ish feeling. That would be because it's very Zelda-based. Thank you, I'm glad you like it. I think what's happening here, I think the weapon is calling this state. Is that what's happening? Where is the... ¿Dónde está? Oh, it's over here, that's why. This guy. So, what we're doing here is, okay, so ID is going to be the ID of the character? Oh, right, it's when we're calling with the actor parent, would be I'm just going to put all these comments here. X and Y position of the actor parent child. Okay, with that, I actually have to go. It's time to get back to work. My lunch break is over. I hope that you all enjoyed this. I will try to be back again on Thursday at about the same time, so that'll be about 11:15, 11:30 Central AM. So come back, see me then. We'll do some more work on this. Yeah, cool. See you guys next time.